which is a hormone-growing gel. You also will need a knife or a scalpel, which today I'm going to be using scissors because I can't really use that here. And you need a container with dirt in it, which I brought a bag of dirt because I didn't want it to spill. And then you need something to poke a hole with, which I'll be using a screwdriver. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first you need to poke a hole in the dirt, and this is so it is ready for the next step, for the preview, for the upcoming steps. And then you need to pour some Clonex into a small container, which I like using a medicine container because I think it works better. And I like pouring it into a container so it stays clean. And it kind of looks weird because it's purple, but that's just the color of it. And I probably just now put way too much in here because I'm just doing one plant, but that's alright. And then you need to take your plant that you're going to clone and put it on a table or a hard surface that can get messy, because this step might get messy. And then you need to take the knife and cut the clone. But where do you cut the clone, you might ask? Well, there are two easy steps. First, you have to pick which one would be the best. And right now, I'm thinking this one would be the best. And then you have to see if it's a leaf or a stem. For example, this is just a leaf. You can tell because it's just shooting out from one of the stems. And it's hard and it's difficult to clone a leaf. So you kind of need to cut it at an angle, but scissors is not the best tool to use because it kind of pinches it together. And then you need to dip the plant into Clonex about an inch up the stem so its roots can grow. And you need to do these two steps kind of fastly so too much air will not get in the stem. And then you need to put the plant in the dirt. This is why we poked a hole in the dirt earlier, so it's more efficient to put it in there and it won't just take off all of the Clonex. Seventh step, pack the dirt in beside the stem. This is one of the most important steps because you don't want it to fall over during any wind or even if it gets touched a little bit. To not put enough dirt in this cup. And the eighth step is make sure that you water this plenty because if it's too wet, then it will drown, but if it's too dry, then it will dry out. So you don't need too much water, but you do need to make sure that the dirt is moist at all times so it does not dry and so it does not get too wet. And then here's what it'll look like, and it'll take a few weeks to even get roots. But on the top right one, you can tell that maybe the first one has only been in there for 3 or 4 days, and the last one has maybe been in there for 3 or 4 weeks. And if you look at that picture right there, you can tell that it's been in there only for a little bit. One, because the roots are small, and two, because it's tipped over like that, and it will look like it died in the beginning of your cloning, but really it's still alive. It's just its roots getting stronger. Any questions? Good. Now that we got that down pat, hope you enjoy and hope you'll clone someday too.
before she gets started, I would like everyone to double check to make sure their phones are on silent. And if you do need to get up and, go to the restroom or step outside